The Pomeroy family actually bought the castle back in the late 15th century, and they were actually a large family that originated from Normandy in France, and they actually bought the castle until Thomas Seymour bought the castle in 1547. So Thomas Pomeroy actually bought the castle from Ralph de la Pomeroy and his wife back in that time period. And I won't talk about the history too much here, because there's a lot of history that you can find out about the castle on Google. But I'm sort of here to talk about the ghosts and the spirits that are here. Just to let everybody know, that people that aren't aware, that the spirits here, not talking the ghosts, that the spirits at Bury Pomeroy Castle are on visitations here. They're not around all the time, and people won't always have experiences here. It doesn't work like that, because people that aren't really knowledgeable about the paranormal or spiritual things believe that the castle would be haunted 24/7 and that it's the most haunted castle in England, which isn't true at all. Bury Pomeroy Castle is one of the most haunted castles in the country, but activity doesn't happen 24/7, and while one may see an apparition, others won't. There's many factors, the reason why not all people will experience things, which I won't go into here, but people are more sensitive than others. Also, if you're not tuned into it, if you're not developed, then you probably won't have an experience. So there's a lot of factors that go into it, because the spirits here are actually here, and they do come on visitations. Majority of them do. None of them are stuck here at all. It has been said that obviously that people think that they're all here, and that they're all here to put on a show, which is not what they do. They're not here to put on a show for anybody. And also with spirits, it takes a lot of energy for them to actually materialise. Now, I've actually been here for over 20 years, and I've only seen just the one. I've only just seen the one spirit, which is the White Lady, but I've had loads and loads of experiences here without actually seeing anything. But I actually did see the White Lady here 2.5 years ago on the driveway, and this was at 1:45 in the morning. So I was actually down here with some friends back in October 2020, and it's around about the start of the pandemic, around about that time when we had coronavirus, and I think the castle was settling down because there was less visitors, and but I actually came down here, and I did like an investigation from the outside of the castle, because I don't climb over. It's actually trespassing, so I would actually urge people not to try and climb over the walls. Number one, it's trespassing, it's against the law. Number two, you don't actually need to do that, because if spirits are around, if they want to show themselves, then they will, if there's enough energy, because spirits actually need a lot of energy to materialise. It does take a lot of energy for them to do so. And that's why many people that have come here for so many years have had problems with their batteries, where their batteries have died, pardon the pun. And also they've driven down here during the day, and they've had situations where their car batteries have died as well. I know quite a lot of people that live locally and all over the country that have actually come down here, and they've actually made reports to the Bury Pomeroy Castle's Haunted Heritage page, and also the Bury Pomeroy Castle's The Haunted Heritage page on Facebook. And there's been so many reports of people that have come down here and have actually got down the driveway, and for some strange reason their batteries have died on their car. Batteries died, and it does tend to happen on the driveway a lot more, but also when they've actually come down here and they've got as far as the car park, their batteries died on their car. And I've also found that even their battery on their mobile phones have died as well. That the battery would be like 100%, 80%, and all of a sudden it's dead. The phone switches itself off. And that's happened to so many people over the years here, that it's no coincidence that it is because there is a lot of psychic energy here. There's a lot of it, and psychic energy, that it can manipulate electricity and things like batteries, anything that's electric can manipulate it. That's how spirits draw their energy. They use the energy of people. People feel, when they've come down here, that they feel very, very drained. They feel very, very tired. When before they've come to the castle, they've been absolutely fine, because that actually shows you that there is a lot of psychic energy here, but it doesn't always show itself or manifest. But it does take some kind of energy for them to show themselves. And also, because spirits are actually people, they have free will. If they want to show themselves, then they will. If they can, they will. But if they don't, they don't. But quite a lot of them can be quite reserved anyway, because you are talking about spirits from a different time period. Now, I'd say when you think about it, you think, well, they're not the kind of personalities that are like us, because back then people were very different. The people that lived back in those medieval times were very different to the way we are now. Things that we do nowadays would be frowned upon by them. There's been a lot of experiences where psychic mediums have come down here, and they've actually linked in with some of the spirits that are here, that have been here at that time, and these spirits have actually commented on the way the people dress here. They've actually been vocal about it, not in a nasty way, but in a humorous, sarcastic way, and sometimes curious as well, as to why we dress the way we do, in the modern type of clothing, and obviously the colours that we wear, and just things like that. Because back in their days, the way they used to dress was completely different to the way we dress. And also, they're not very understanding of our technologies either, so they've been quite vocal about that. So when you have good psychics and mediums that have come down here, they've actually communicated with these spirits, and so they do generally are very curious as to what our technologies are, and they're very curious and also cautious about them. So there's been a lot of ghost hunters that have actually done investigations here on the grass. So I would urge people, when they come down here, to not climb over. You don't need to climb over, because activity happens pretty much everywhere. When it's active, you can experience it in the woods, the driveway, the grass, the greenery, the woods, the pathways. So you don't actually have to get over the wall to have any experiences, and also it is trespassing. But going back to the ghosts and the spirits, they do all have free will, and they are still people, so they have to be treated with a lot of respect. But it does take quite a lot of energy for them to materialise, and they don't always do that. I mean, it's taken me 20 years to see the White Lady, and going back to my experience, when I saw the White Lady, what happened was I went over to the Castle Cafe just to get my camera equipment, because I had all my bags over there. So I had my tripod, and I had some bags over here. So this was at 1:45 in the morning back in October 2020, where I've come in here to collect my bags, which were down here. Okay, so I picked up my bags, came out like this, we walked out here, and you see the bush in the background. There's like a strip of hedges which runs along there. I actually saw a beam of light over here, but this area here was all covered in bushes, so I couldn't see. Back in 2020, I couldn't actually see this part here, that area of the driveway. So this was all covered with bushes, so I couldn't see that bit. All I could see was a beam of light shining against that bush. So I actually walked a bit further. I actually got around the corner, and I saw a silhouette of a woman just standing over here. She was just standing here. I would say I didn't see the face. It happened very, very quickly. So I got as far as here. She just passed that bump. There's a bump here. So it was just past the bump, and I saw a woman just standing there. Definitely a woman, because you could see the outline of her dress, and she was there for about 3 or 4 seconds, because I just stood there and I froze. I wasn't scared. I wouldn't say I was scared. I didn't leg it back up the drive or anything like that. I just stood there staring at her, but I didn't see her face. And the reason why I think I didn't see the face was because it was so illuminating. I don't even know if she was facing my way, but I could see that it was definitely a woman, because you could actually see the outline of her dress. And then she slowly sort of faded away. And that was just over here. So I just carried on walking up the driveway, casually up the driveway, and I thought to myself, Jesus, I've just seen my first spirit. I couldn't believe it. You know, I've been coming here for quite a few years, and even though I've had lots of experiences here over the years, that was my first ever sighting. But I think also with the spirits as well, they've got to warm to as well. And if you can strike a good rapport with them, and if you're very respectful and adapt to them a little bit, then they might come forward and communicate with you. But it's not guaranteed. It's all down to energy, really. If they like your energy, if they can sync in with your energy, if they think that you're a negative person, or if they think that you're mocking them, or you know, taking the piss or anything like that, they won't show themselves at all, even if they could, because they can't always show themselves, as I was saying, because of energy. They need a lot of energy to do that, so they don't always do that, and because they also have the free will. So but I also believe that that they obviously choose who they want to show themselves to, you know. But when I come down here, I always show them a lot of respect. I actually communicate, and you know, and I thank them for allowing me to visit their castle, and I always, you know, speak out, and because I know quite a lot of the names of the spirits that are here, I actually try and communicate with them, and I've been coming here for so many years that they probably have got to know me by now. And I think if they get to know you, you'll find that some of them may come forward. It's best when you come down here is to not shine torches either. Okay, don't shine torches at the castle, because once you've done that, I promise you, you won't get anything. You won't experience anything, because they don't like bright torches. They don't like bright lights. So that's a fact. They don't like that at all. So I would recommend that you don't do that when you're coming down here. So that's something that I've learned over the years.